So yeah, sure, ICP as of right now, it's below $3 yet again, but there's something pretty positive in my opinion that could hypothetically have been confirmed. And what is that? That is how the founder of Dfinity just said that a growing number of enterprises are waiting for ICP cloud engines. And I think this thing right here is so massive. And I'll explain in today's video why I think so to the best of my capabilities, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I am not telling anyone to do anything. Now, we do know that Dfinity, they probably spent a lot of resources developing the concept of cloud engines, right? And through that, they are really focused on the cloud market. And the fact that even as of right now, we're already allegedly seeing a growing number of enterprises that are waiting for ICP cloud engines. It showcases there is much anticipation for that. And also it showcases that there is a demand when it comes to that. So this is a big thumbs up for me. You know what would be so disappointing if, let's say, they put so much resources and effort towards cloud engines and no one's interested? That's really bad, right? So of course, seeing something like this, it's a big thumbs up for me. And we have to consider, okay, ICP is below $3 as of right now, like I mentioned early on in this video. But we got to think about this as well. When the market isn't doing the best, some projects out there naturally are just going to close up shop. That's very normal. We see that many times throughout history. But at the same time, usually what projects out there do make it through a market downturn. And those are usually the ones that have amazing fundamentals, usually also the ones that actually have an amazing team that managed their resources properly and didn't spend it all, and also something that keeps on, again, just developing and updating. And allegedly, I am seeing that when it comes to the case of Dfinity, because they don't seem to be complacent. They didn't seem like they misallocated their resources and then now they're struggling financially. It doesn't seem like that at all, because if we take a look at it, the fact that even at a market downturn, they're thinking about cloud engines, we still see something like Caffeine AI. You know, all this right here is not really possible if the project was run very badly, at least in my opinion. So this is a very amazing thing. Now, again, people like to say, oh, but the price is so low. Okay, I understand that. But if the market were to take off, who knows, maybe one day, hypothetically, all this stuff right here is really going to matter. It's like, for instance, Jeff Bezos 35 years ago, before he really made it big, so to speak, who cared about him? I mean, who was writing newspaper articles about Jeff Bezos back then, right? I mean, probably somewhere, who knows? But like, it's pretty difficult to really be so, I guess, interested in what he was doing with his life back then. But as of right now, we fast forward, everyone wants to know what's going on with Jeff Bezos. Why? It's because eventually, after Amazon took off, he became very relevant. It's no different when it comes to this space. You know, Jeff Bezos, he put in the work for all those years, then eventually showcased it later. Eventually, people cared. When it comes to the internet computer, what's going on in regard to it, it may not matter too much as of right now because it's still below $3. But if the market were to take off, it's going to matter later. That's the thing, usually. Take a look at, for instance, in the case of Solana. Is Solana doing the best as of right now? No. But historically, even when the market wasn't doing the best, it kept doing its thing. So eventually, when the market really did take off, like let's say in 2021, Solana went along with the ride because it put in all the work for all those times, right? And because of that, Solana became very established and, you know, we know all about it basically as of right now. Had Solana not done that, we might not have heard about Solana. You know what I mean? So again, all that hard work has to be put in first before it could matter later. So I don't think what Dfinity is doing is a bad thing. You know, yeah, sure, a lot of people kind of got shocked and surprised that they announced how not too long ago they so far have spent around $500 million in research and development, which got a lot of people very surprised. They're like, why would they do that? That's so ridiculous. Like, how come despite all that, ICP is doing bad? But again, we have to think about their mindset is more so building for the long term. So again, if they spent around $500 million on research and development, it may sound like a waste of resources at first glance, but it's actually not such a bad thing in my opinion. Because again, we're kind of seeing the fruits of the labor, right? In a sense where, okay, they spent that much, but we see something like Caffeine AI and we're seeing, you know, the concept of cloud engines. So I don't think it's a bad thing. Keep in mind, being focused on the cloud market is a genius move because through cloud engines, they are focused on the cloud market. The cloud market, the last time I checked, was worth around $1 trillion. That's really massive. So even if they could just capture like 1% of that, that would be already a major victory. Could they do that though? Who knows? It's going to be a very tough task, but we'll wait and see. That's the thing. However, I think also sometimes people ignore the fact that the internet computer has a really heavy emphasis when it comes to AI. Yeah, sure, it may not be considered the most impressive project out there of all time. And if we take a look at Grayscale's decentralized AI fund, projects like Filecoin are there, Near, or should I say the Near protocol and stuff like that. But we haven't really seen ICP transcend in that sort of way where people really recognize it as a project that's really focused on AI. So as of right now, having an aspect of decentralized AI when it comes to the internet computer, also on top of that, seeing Caffeine AI version 3, all this stuff right here is building slowly but surely the narrative when it comes to AI in regard to the internet computer. So what happens if there is a hypothetical altcoin season? ICP has multiple pathways, right? If the AI narrative kind of flopped when it comes to it, there's the cloud market, there's that narrative right there. But if that doesn't work out, there's also AI. So again, it has multiple pathways, in my opinion. So the internet computer is not a one-trick pony, in my opinion. Now, granted, people like to say, oh, but if they're doing something so amazing, why isn't it being showcased when it comes to the price charts? Well, first of all, we got to understand, this does not operate like a company in real life, in a sense where if we take a look at a company in the stock market, for instance, if they launch like a very revolutionary product or they have very good net income or something like that, usually, even if the market isn't doing the best, sometimes we see it kind of showcase a positive impact when it comes to the stock price. But this is not how it operates within this space. Like the internet computer, for instance, if they randomly announced in a random, totally make-believe scenario, if they said, oh, we're partnering with Justin Bieber in a hypothetical, of course they haven't done that, but I'm saying in a pure hypothetical, do you think that the price charts are going to be affected by that much, especially as of right now? Not really, right? It doesn't operate like other markets out there. That's the thing. So when people like to say, oh, but they're doing all these good things, but the price isn't being affected. Well, yeah, this is just how the space works when it comes to this. There's trade-offs, right? Other spaces out there, other markets, I should say, maybe if something good happens, it's positively affected, even if the market isn't doing the best. But sometimes when it comes to this space, it just doesn't really work that way, in my opinion. It requires a broader change in market sentiment, but then later on, what they do matters when the market does take off. But it won't really matter if the market doesn't take off. That's the thing. But what I find pretty cool is that if we take a look at Warren Buffett, for instance, when he believes in something that he feels is undervalued, but with strong fundamentals and a good, let's say, business model, like in real life, right? Usually he's going to look for ones that are pretty good fundamentally, but then kind of low, right, as an entry point. The thing is this, if I take a look at ICP, I like it fundamentally, yet it's below $3. So yeah, I mean, why would I complain in terms of hypothetical dollar cost averaging, even though, again, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Personally, for me, I like projects that are kind of low, but yet have very good fundamentals. Why is that a bad thing? It's like, for instance, imagine if I got a property, like, real estate or whatever, and it was at a discount, would I complain? No. It just doesn't make sense, right? The fact that ICP was actually at around $9 back in just November of last year, it's kind of ridiculous because $9 wasn't even considered good when it comes to ICP. A lot of people kind of considered it a little bit bearish because actually the year before 2025 and 2024, ICP was almost at $19. So the fact that in November of last year, ICP was at around $9, it was considered so bearish by some people's standards, right? So the thing is, when it comes to ICP, as of right now, we're over 3 times lower than $9. Like, okay, that may sound really bad and boring, some people like to say, but Bitcoin is most definitely not 3 times lower than its all-time high. And $9 isn't even the all-time high when it comes to ICP. So again, at the end of the day, when it comes to the internet computer, I'm still waiting. There's nothing I can do, but when I see the founder of Dfinity say something like a growing number of enterprises are waiting for ICP cloud engines, that I think is a very positive thing because it showcases that there's already pre-existing demands by enterprises. So I think that's really fantastic. So imagine, right, if I try to launch a product and I haven't even fully launched it yet and some people are already, demanding for it, That's really awesome. It's like a pre-order in a sense, right? Kind of. That's my analogy. But I just find that really awesome. But I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward though. So I want to say thank you for watching.